Borthakur IAS Academy, an endeavor of excellence.
Borthakur IAS Academy.
Hello everyone, welcome to Borthakur's IAS Academy, Northeast's premier institute for UPSC, APSC and NPSC preparations. I hope you all are doing well. Today I'm here with another segment of Current Affairs 365 dated 19th of July 2021. Please like and share this video and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on Facebook as well as Instagram. So the first news is regarding Commission for Air Quality Management in the NCR and Adjoining Areas Bill of 2021. The Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Change is set to table this bill during the monsoon session of the Parliament. Initially, this ordinance was promulgated by the President in October last year, but the bill to replace the ordinance was not passed in the budget session of the Parliament. And because of that, the Commission ceased to operate in March 2020. Subsequently, the Ministry brought a second ordinance in April 2021 with modifications due to the farmers' protest. Farmers had raised concerns to stiff penalties and possible jail terms for stubble burning, which was stated in the first ordinance, and the government has decriminalized the act of stubble burning and withdrawn the clause for possible jail term. Now this bill, it provides for a constitution of Commission for better coordination, research, identification and resolution of those problems which are related to air quality in the National Capital Region and its adjoining areas. Here, adjoining areas have been identified as areas in the states of Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh, where any source of pollution can cause adverse impact on the air quality of NCR. It also dissolves the Environment Pollution Prevention and Control Authority, which was established in NCR in the year 1998. Coming to the composition of this commission, it will be headed by a full-time chairperson who has been a secretary to the Government of India or a chief secretary to a state government. And the chairperson will hold the post for 3 years or until he or she attains the age of 70 years, whichever is applicable. It will have members from several ministries as well as representatives from the stakeholder states, and this will have experts from the CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board, ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, as well as the civil society. Now comes the functions of this commission. Here they will be engaged in coordinating actions that are to be taken by the concerned state governments like Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. Then planning and executing plans to prevent and control air pollution in the NCR is going to be another important task. They will provide a framework for identification of the possible air pollutants. Also, they will be conducting research and development through networking with technical institutions. The other functions includes training and creating a special workforce to deal with issues related to air pollution and preparing various action plans such as increasing plantation and addressing the stubble burning issue. The major power of the body includes the power to issue directions and entertain complaints as it deems necessary for the purpose of protecting and improving the quality of air in the NCR and adjoining areas. This body will also lay down parameters for control of air pollution like permissible levels of emissions and discharge of pollutants. It will be in charge of identifying violators, monitoring factories and industries and any other polluting unit in the region, and will have the power to shut down such units as well. Then this is going to have powers to overrule directives issued by the state government in the region that may be in violation of any pollution norms. So there is a need for the massive augmentation of intra-city public transport and to move industries, power plants and other users away from the polluting fuels like coal to natural gas, electricity and renewable energy in order to ensure clean combustion. Also, the government should undertake a thorough review of the various laws and institutions in order to look at their efficiency as well as utility. It must have detailed consultation with all relevant stakeholders, especially those outside Delhi, which includes farmers groups and small-scale industries and public at large. Now moving ahead to the second news, it is about a new study on the intergenerational benefits of the midday meal scheme of our country. Through this study, it was found that midday meal schemes, they have the midday meals which are provided through this scheme, it has left a long-lasting impact. Children of the midday meal scheme beneficiaries, they show better growth. This study also used the nationally representative data on cohorts of mother and their children by birth year and socioeconomic status, spanning a period of around 23 years. This study is a first of its kind intergenerational analysis of the impacts of any mass feeding program. As per the study, the girls who had access to the free lunches provided at government schools, they had children with a higher height to age ratio than those who did not. Moreover, by 2016, the prevalence of stunting was also significantly lower in areas where the midday meal scheme was implemented in 2005. The linkages between the meals and lower stunting in the next generation were stronger in the lower socioeconomic strata and likely work through the women's education, fertility and use of health services. Now, we all are aware of malnutrition, right? It refers to deficiencies, excesses or imbalances in a person's intake of nutrients. The term malnutrition, it covers two broad groups of conditions. One is undernutrition and the next one is micronutrient deficiencies or insufficiencies. Undernutrition includes stunting or a low height for age, then wasting and underweight. Underweight stands for low weight for age. And this micronutrient deficiencies is a condition of lack of important vitamins and minerals. Along with these two terms, another factor is associated here, which is hidden hunger. It is a lack of vitamins and minerals. It occurs when quality of food a person takes does not meet the nutrient requirement. Now, coming to this scheme, it was a centrally funded scheme which was launched in the year 1995 under the Ministry of Education. This scheme was world's largest school meal program, which was mainly aimed to attain the goal of universalization of primary education. This scheme provided cooked meals to every child within the age group of 6 to 14 years studying in classes 1 to 5 who enrolls and attend the government schools. The main objective here was not just to address hunger and malnutrition, but also to increase enrollment and attendance in the government schools. This was going to improve socialization among castes, and also it provided employment at the grassroots level, especially to the women. If the midday meal food is not provided in the schools on any particular day due to non-availability of resources or any other reason, the state government shall pay the food security allowance by 15th of the succeeding month. And coming to regulation of the scheme, the State Steering cum Monitoring Committee, it oversees the implementation of this scheme, including establishment of a mechanism for maintenance of nutritional standards and quality of meals. Each cooked meal, it have certain standards of 450 calories and 12 grams of protein for primary classes from 1 to 5 and 700 calories and 20 grams of protein for upper primary, that is from class 6 to class 8. All the government and government aided schools, madrasa and maktabs are supported under the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. However, there are certain challenges and issues associated with this scheme. First is corrupt practices. There have been instances of plain chapatis served with salt or mixing of water in milk, food poisoning, etc. Then food is central to the caste system. So in many schools, children are made to sit separately according to their caste status. This is a discrimination which should be avoided. COVID-19 has posed serious threats to children and their health and nutritional rights. The nationwide lockdown has disrupted access to essential services, including midday meals. And although dry food grains or cash transfers have been provided to the families instead, the food and education advocates have warned that this would not have the same impact as the hot cooked meal on the school premises, especially for girl children who face more discrimination at home and are more likely to drop out of school due to the closures. Other drawbacks includes the menace of malnutrition. Then Global Nutrition Report of 2020. As per this report, India is among the 88 countries that are likely to miss global nutrition targets by the year 2025. So next we are going to discuss a report titled The State of Food Security Nutrition in the World 2021. This report has studied the impact of COVID-19 pandemic-induced income loss on the food intake and malnutrition. This report is jointly presented by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, the United Nations Children's Fund, the World Food Programme, and the World Health Organization. Earlier also a report was published which was titled as the Global Food Policy Report of 2021, and it directly stated that the impacts of rising poverty and reduced livelihoods are reflected clearly in the rising levels of food insecurity as well as decreasing diet quality. Now we will see the key points which were mentioned in this report. Firstly, the impact on developing and underdeveloped countries. The biggest impact of COVID-19 on food security has been on all the low and middle income countries. Also those countries where there were climate related disasters or conflict, or both, along with the economic downturns because of the pandemic, they have suffered the most. And more than half of the world's undernourished population, they are found in Asia, and almost one third are in Africa. So compared to 2019, about 46 million people in Africa and 57 million people in Asia, they are affected by hunger in the year 2020. Then next issue that was highlighted is that if we continue to suffer in this way, then these countries, they are likely to miss the sustainable development goals. Globally, the world is right now not on track to achieve the SDGs, especially eliminating poverty, which is the SDG number 1, and hunger number 2. These are the targets for any of the nutrition indicators by the year 2030. And this can be reflected in the finding that after remaining virtually unchanged for around 5 years, the POU, that is prevalence of undernourishment, has increased 1.5% points in just 1 year. So the efforts to eradicate malnutrition in all its forms have been challenged by these disruptions in the essential nutrition interventions and the negative impact on dietary patterns, mainly due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Then there has been many problems in access to healthy food. Around 12 crore people, they have faced hunger issues in 2020, more than in 2019. There is an increase in directly 18%. So there has been a significant dip in the people's affordability for healthy food due to a loss of income. Then nextly, almost 1 in 3 person in the world, they did not have access to adequate food in 2020. There are external as well as internal productivity and inefficient food supply factors, which are directly affecting the food systems. They are pushing up the cost of nutritious food, which combined with the lower incomes are increasing the unaffordability of the healthy diets. Along with that, one more important point is the gender disparity. There is a huge gap in access to food among men and women. For every 10 food insecure men, there are almost 11 food insecure women in 2020. So nearly 1/3 of the world's women of the reproductive age, they are suffering from anemia. Coming to India's scenario, the prevalence of undernutrition among the total population in India was 15.3% during 2018 to 2020. This is significantly low when compared to the global 8.9 during the same period. This is an improvement from the time period of 2004 to 2006, which was 21.6%. Also, about 31% of Indian children have low height for age, that is stunted growth, which is an improvement from the 41.7% in 2012. Our country has observed an increase in the prevalence of obesity among the adult population from 3% in 2012 to around 3.9% in 2016. And the prevalence of anemia among women of reproductive age has also marginally improved. There are some related schemes also which are going to work for providing food security to our population. It includes the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana, then One Nation One Ration Card scheme, Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana, etc. This report has laid down the following ways through which food systems could be transformed to address the major drivers of food insecurity as well as malnutrition. Now, moving ahead to the next news, it is regarding the launch of artificial intelligence powered grievance management application by the Defense Minister. And earlier another AI-based portal titled 𝐎𝐫𝐠 was launched by the Chief Justice of our country in order to assist the judges with legal research. Now, coming to this project, it is a first of its kind initiative by the government for using artificial intelligence, data science and machine learning techniques in grievance redressal. It is a citizen-centric reform and it has been developed by the Ministry of Defense with the help of IIT Kanpur. This application is going to automatically handle and analyze the complaints of people, thus reducing human intervention, saving time and bringing more transparency in the process of disposal. This application is going to have great use in understanding the nature of complaints, geographies from where they have been registered, and also it is going to help in introducing policy changes in order to create systematic improvements to address this grievance. It also marks the introduction of AI-based innovations in governance and administration. The success of this project in Ministry of Defense is going to pave the way for extension of this application across other ministries. A large number of complaints are also received on the CPGRAMS, which stands for Centralized Public Grievances Redress and Monitoring System, which is a portal of the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances. The CPGRAMS, it enables the citizen to track the online complaints, which are whether they are being followed up with the department concerned or not, and it also enables the department to monitor the same. So this was all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it will be useful. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll see you all again tomorrow with another segment of Current Affairs 365 only on Borthakur's IAS Academy, Northeast's premier institute for UPSC, APSC and NPSC preparations. Till then, take care, keep learning. Bye-bye.
Borthakur IAS Academy. প্রস্তুতি আৰু অধ্যয়নৰ নিৰ্ভৰযোগ্য ঠিকনা।
Borthakur IAS Academy.